What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Divorced Sistas. This is season 1, episode 3, and the episode is titled Hushed Tones. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, we are picking up exactly where we left off, and that is with Javon having a conversation with Geneva. This man flat out asked her, is Amika his daughter? Y'all, Geneva is trying to deny it, and she's like, why are you even here? According to him, he does not want to tell Will what has happened in the past with these two because he does not want to hurt him. So it's very clear that Javon sees Will as a real friend. You know what I mean? However, dude, you was messing around with his wife. He gonna find out. So, here's the thing. Javon feels like he held up his end of the bargain because I guess at some point they agreed that they will leave their partners. And she's like, that was 6 years ago. Like, things have changed between me and Will. I said, have they? Because just a second ago, you thought he was cheating on you, girl. I guess. So, come to find out, these two actually planned to name their child Anika. And I'm just like, Geneva girl. Geneva girl. I feel like this may be his baby. Oh, this is so messy. Will, he ends up coming downstairs, and honestly, Geneva is just kind of stuck. Like, she don't know what to do with herself at this point. Y'all, I will say this. I am enjoying, some of the acting on this show. However, it was a lot of talking with their teeth, or like their teeth clenched, and that was bothering me. And I love Kadeen. I want her to work on her facial expressions. That's it. But moving on. Y'all, we see Rashida and Jeff. Baby, these two stress me out every time they get on the screen. So she's questioning if he meant what he said earlier, when he was talking to the kids. And he literally questions what's going on with her. Like, why are you always having something to say about everything? And she tells him that, every time we have a conversation, you keep flipping things on me. And he denies it, of course. Baby, Jeff don't take no type of accountability. Then has the audacity to be like, oh, are you going through menopause? Sir, what? See, he plays too much. He plays way too much. Like, I need for Rashida to stop trying to keep up these images for that stupid church and leave this man. Because he's sitting up here saying how, he loves her, but she tells him, no, this is all performative. But I'm like, here's the thing, Rashida, you're being performative as well. Because when y'all get in front of these church folks, y'all put on this big front like y'all are like the best couple. Y'all are so in love, and all of it ain't true. Then come to find out, y'all, he ain't even having sex with her. I'm like, okay, well, if he ain't banging you, is he over there hunching on those other girls who've been coming to you saying that your husband is cheating on you? Like, this situation is crazy. So she ends up telling him how, she always has his back, but he never has hers. Y'all, they're not happy. They are not happy with each other. And he feels like she's always nagging. Like, I just really want them to break up. Oh my God. But I feel like there's so much more to this story that we are barely scratching the surface, okay? So he tries to make it seem like, he's the reason why she's living the life that she's living. And she had to tell him, no, sweetheart, it was my family's money that invested in this church. So don't sit up here and act like you're the one who gave me a good life. And again, this man is playing in her face because he tells her, there's all kind of other women in the church that he can be entertaining. Rashida, I feel like that right there was the confirmation. I feel like that man is definitely doing something with those other girls. Now, also, this kind of made me think, well, does he know that she is covering for his ass every time another woman walks into the damn church saying that he's messing around with her and Rashida is covering for him? Does he know that? Like, baby, Rashida is getting fed up with him, and I need her to hit her breaking point, for real. Now, y'all, we see Naomi and her glam team. Y'all already know Naomi is extremely extra. I don't see how she's friends with these ladies, but I'm trying to follow the storyline. She's all happy because, she looks good and all this stuff. There's a knock at the door. Baby, it's the police. I said, damn, girl, what happened? So the police show up, and also her ex-husband's attorney is there. They keep telling her, like, you got to get out this house. You got to get out the house. And she's like, I'm not leaving my house. I'm not leaving, right? They finally get her outside. Y'all, when they left, out her and her crew, once they left out of there, they start flipping shit over, okay, because they're looking for stuff. Go outside, they're repoing her car. And I'm just like, girl, what the hell is going on? Like, I thought that this divorce was already settled. Like, what is going on? So then what's crazy that she kept saying, like, I'm Mrs. Price. I'm Mrs. Price. And baby, they had to hit her with, well, baby, there's another Mrs. Price. So I guess he done married the white girl at this point, right? Y'all, they taking cars. They're taking paintings. They're taking furs. I'm just like, what is happening? Then they left her with some type of old ass car, like an Oldsmobile or something. I'm just like, girl, they don't even make them no more. What was the settlement agreement? I know she got $37 million. It seems like she got the house. But what were you supposed to return? Baby, that attorney looked at her and said, oh yeah, those diamond earrings, that wedding band, that ring on your finger, and that watch, we taking all of that. And she's like, no, you're not going to take this. You're not going to do that, whatever. Baby, they was about to take it off her body. And some of the stuff they did take off of her body. And I think she ended up throwing like the earrings or something. But I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on? Why is nobody calling Geneva? Because Geneva is her lawyer. Like, what the fuck? So after everything has happened, Naomi, she ends up getting in that Oldsmobile and she drives off. I said, now y'all, where the hell she get the keys for the Oldsmobile? Where did she get the keys for that old ass car that she could just hop on in and speed off? But you know, we're gonna keep the story going. So finally, one of the people who worked for her, they decide to call Geneva. I said, what were y'all doing before? Just sitting there? And Geneva is in the car with Will and Javon. And basically, Will is over there talking about how, oh yeah, I got somebody for you, Javon. Like, she's smart, she's funny. Yeah, I want to introduce him to Tiff. So Geneva kind of taken it back, like, you gonna introduce him to who? Yeah, your homegirl, sis. So Geneva, she ends up getting on the phone, right? And because, you know, she finally saw the messages and she learns that, oh, they came and picked all that stuff up. Y'all, her response blew me because she was not shocked. She was not appalled. She was like, I told Naomi that she has to give all that stuff back. I'm like, oh shit, Naomi. Oh, Naomi, I get it. You are holding on to the things that were rightfully yours because he gifted that to you, but baby, just let it go. And there's no reason for you to hold on to anything from this man because you can see how trifling he is. Okay, so moving on from there, y'all, we see Bridget and she's talking to the event planner, y'all, about the seating arrangement. Because at this point, Will calls her and says, oh, can you put an extra seat by Tiff? And she's like, yeah, I can do that, whatever. We see her boyfriend, Vaughn, he comes in. Baby, the party planner is confused because he thinks that Vaughn is supposed to be working the event. Because he absolutely looks like he could be a part of the waiter staff. So here goes Vaughn. He catching an attitude. He's like, you know, I'm not no waiter, blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing. The man apologizes because he didn't know. And what's her name? Bridget was like, well, you know, he's a guest. He's not actually like working this event. And here goes Vaughn hooting and hollering about he a content creator. And I'm just like, I don't understand this concept. I don't understand how she's with this man. It makes absolutely no sense, okay? Like, she is so embarrassed by him. And I'm just like, girl, you don't need to be with him. And he over catch an attitude because he's like, you didn't introduce me as your man. Sir, do you see what you're wearing? Do you see how you act? I wouldn't introduce you as my man either. Hell, you would never be my man. Okay? So, y'all, we see Rashida and Jeff. They arrive. And, baby, you can see everything on her face. The cracks are about to start cracking, okay? We are about to see their marriage get bust wide open. She's not saving face anymore tonight. Now, she does end up talking to Tiffany, Bridget, and Geneva. And they end up calling Naomi, who is at a liquor store. Okay? She's over here questioning Geneva, like, what type of lawyer are you? And Geneva's like, hold on, sis, because I already told you that you need to give this stuff back to this man. Don't sit up here and act like I'm the problem. So the friends, they're like, we can come meet you after we're done with this event. And she's like, nah, I'm not coming. Like, y'all ain't even got to come on through. Like, it's over, whatever. So next thing you know, we see that guy, Calvin. He comes into the ballroom, because that's where the event is. And he's talking to Jeff. And he's like, yeah, man, I hired this dude that Bridget told me to hire. And he quit and all this stuff. So he feeling away. Speaking of Vaughn, here he come. Now, he comes by, he talking about how he trying to get a drink around there. Keep in mind, this is a church event, baby. You're not going to find any type of alcohol. Where do you think you are right now? So, Calvin is pissed off by Vaughn. And this is the one time where I was kind of on Vaughn's side where he's like, I quit that job. I don't work there. Like, I don't work for you. And I'm just like, he got a point there. Calvin, I get it. He quit on you, but at the same time, baby, listen, he don't work for you, and you see what type of nigga he is. So you don't even need to be in your feelings. My question is, what is the relationship between Calvin and Bridget? Because it's given that they may hook up later. Or am I the only one who sees that? We'll go ahead and move on. So you have Will, he comes in there with Javon, and here comes the ladies, right? So they trying to sit down and get all situated, right? And what's crazy to me, I said, Will, you only wanted to introduce him to Tiff. Hell, he could have been introduced to Bridget too. Because, baby, Bridget needed another man. The one she got ain't it, okay? Now, Jeff and Rashida, they go up to the front because they got to say, like, a little speech or whatever. And this whole event, y'all, is for them to get a new facility. From what we saw, the facility looked nice. What we need to get a new one for? What's happening here? So, Jeff is up there. Not too long, he introduces Rashida. She comes up there, and she's like, I'm going to take my time with whatever God puts on my heart. She starts saying a prayer. And honestly, she wasn't long-winded. It was a real nice prayer. I said, okay, come on through. I like the way you pray, girl. So Bridget, she ends up telling Vaughn that he has to go to the back for something. I guess he didn't have a seat at the table with all of them. And his seat was somewhere else. Again, you don't like this man. You're embarrassed by him. You don't even want him around your friends. So I'm not even understanding why he's here. So they end up sitting at the table with the friend group, right? And again, he's embarrassing her. But also at the same time, baby, we see Tiffany and Javon, they laughing and cackling and having a good old time, good conversation. And what pissed me off is that Tiff was like, yeah, I just got divorced. Girl, you did not just get divorced. You've been divorced for 3 years. Stop playing. Geneva, she's peeping the conversation. She's like, what y'all talking about over there? Like, girl, you are a few seats down. Scoot back, okay? So, she sees them laughing and having a good time. And, of course, she's feeling some type of way, right? So, Geneva ends up spilling some water on the table. And she's like, oh, let me go ahead and go to the restroom. Whatever, right? Rashida goes after her. Y'all, this is the part where I said, okay, I think Tyler is changing some things around. Because y'all know how Sistas is. If one of them would have went to the bathroom, they all go to the bathroom. But no, Rashida was like, no, I got it. Y'all stay right here and I'll handle this, right? See what's going on with her. Baby, Rashida went back there. Geneva's shaking and quaking. Baby, that lady don't know what to do with herself right now. And, she's trying to tell Rashida everything that has happened with Javon. How he came to her office. He's come to her house. How, Javon is basically being set up by Will to possibly go with Tiffany. Tiffany has no idea of this situation with her and Javon. And also at the same time, how Javon has questioned if Anika is his child. So, baby, Rashida got to take all of this in. All of this information in, okay? And she's like, why would he even think that, baby? Geneva got to have an honest conversation with herself and be like, we were going through IVF. It wasn't working. I slept with him a few times. At first, I thought they only slept together once. But it sounds like they hooked up more than one time. And again, y'all, Rashida is taking all this information in, y'all. And it is very clear that Rashida is the strong friend. Like right now, she's putting all of her own bullshit aside that she got going on with Jeff. And she is trying to be there for her friend. I was like, okay, at some point we're going to see Rashida crack. And I think it's going to be real bad. So We go back outside. Jeff, he hears that big money is on the way, a.k.a. Naomi ex-husband. Then here goes Vaughn. He over here asking Jeff's assistant how much money his jacket costs. He cussing all at the event. And Bridget is like, okay, this is getting way too far. She trying to escort him out the building. And she's like, boy, come on. I said, the fact that you just told him, boy, come on, that's how you view him, as a little boy, because that's exactly how he acts. Bridget, please, by next episode, let this man go and get him up out your house. So, next thing you know, Tiff, she runs off because she got to use the restroom, right? So, she ends up going to the restroom where the other ladies are, where Geneva and Rashida are. Baby, we see Will at the table. He think he done the best deed in the world because he about to hook up his homeboy with Tiff. But here's the thing. The sucky part is that Tiffany has no idea of Javon and Geneva's history, number one, and she's actually interested in this man. Tiffany comes to the bathroom. She trying to be nosy, but Rashida, again, I really like Rashida's character. She's like, did you say you had to use the bathroom? Go use the bathroom. She was literally keeping that moment private between her and Geneva. Until Geneva can figure out where her damn head is, we're not about to sit up here and make this be a group discussion. We're not about to do that. And I can respect that. So again, when she goes off to the bathroom, Rashida is trying to get Geneva to hold it together, baby. Hold it together and we can figure it out later. So Bridget, she has to pull Vaughn to the side. She's telling him to go ahead and go home. She can't do this. Like, he's embarrassing her. And he's like, my bad. I ain't ever been around these types of people. I didn't have a man teach me nothing. Negro, get off my screen. Were you raised by wolves? Like, what are you talking about? That is not an excuse. So she ends up asking how he's going to get home. This man assumed that he was going to take her car. Girl, go ahead and get him a ride share because he can't afford one. It got to come from your account. Next thing you know, Naomi's ex ends up walking into the room, right? And he is with his new woman. We learned that his new girl is a white girl. I said, okay. Y'all, I'm not even going to hold you. I'm kind of tired of this trope of, oh yeah, he's now with the white girl. She could have been Latina. She could have been Asian. I still want her to have that same energy. Just could have been another race. But back to the ladies, y'all. Tiff is actually feeling Javon. She's telling the ladies how she liked him. In that moment, Geneva, I feel like she could have spoken up, but she didn't. She didn't say a word about it. So Tiff, she ends up leaving, and Bridget comes in to say, like, y'all, Franklin up in here. And y'all know who Franklin is. Naomi ex. So they go back outside, right? And we see Franklin, he's introducing his wife, Lindsay, to Pastor Jeff. Y'all, now Lindsay gonna say, I didn't even want to come because the dragon lady could have been here. Baby, Rashida walked up and said, now who you calling the dragon lady? Because we all know that she's talking about Naomi. Baby, I like how they ride for their friend. I'm liking that because even Tiff was coming for Lindsay. Now, everybody that sat down, right? Tiff is the first one to peep the earrings. Y'all, then all the ladies start to take notice. Lindsay is so hype about these earrings. She's like, yep, they're 10-karat yellow diamond earrings. Literally the same earrings that were just snatched out of Naomi's ears, thrown in the dirt, and bitch, now you're wearing them? This some crazy shit. Crazy shit. Those diamonds literally been in the dirt. Well, baby, you have Tiff. She's like, yeah, those look better on like darker skin, like melanated skin, aka Naomi skin. And baby, speaking of Naomi, Houston, we have a problem because Naomi has shown up. She's drunk and she wearing a new dress. I said, oh God, shit is about to hit the fan and I'm so ready for it. Y'all, okay, I really feel like this has been like a slow burn, but baby, we getting to the shit now. We are getting to the shit. Y'all, I must say, this show is much more mature, I feel like, than Sistas, the regular one. And also, I feel like we are definitely going to dive into some deeper conversations. But y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.